To see your plants thrive like never before? Let's dive into Real Growers Recharge. Imagine your plants growing faster, stronger and healthier. Real Growers Recharge is like a magical elixir for your garden. Packed with beneficial microbes, it boosts nutrient absorption and enhances root development. Just mix it with water and watch the magic happen. It's that simple. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just getting started, Recharge makes it easy to achieve lush, vibrant plants. Plus, it's eco-friendly and safe for all types of plants. From veggies and flowers to houseplants, Recharge covers it all. So why wait? Give your garden the boost it deserves with Real Growers. Recharge and enjoy the lush, thriving garden of your dreams. Your plants will thank you.
Go to the link in the description to save big and score free shipping on all Real Growers products, or use coupon code Cortez at checkout. Every time you save, you're also helping the channel bring you content like this.
If you don't believe in demons, you better start believing. You have to face them before they face you. Trust only in yourself. And of course, in God.
Everybody, big shout out to the CannaKan fam. Wanted to take a quick look and see what we got inside of here. Show you guys a little unboxing here from what my boy Don sent over. He was even nice enough to put a handwritten note, which was a really nice touch. Now, I am going to be germinating some seeds coming up soon here. I think I'm on day 44 or 45 of my photo period grow. Then the tent is going back over to the autoflowers. Daz was nice enough to send some of this stuff over. I believe most of this is out of his new drop. And then we also got the secret Owl Club stuff going on. So we got strains for days. And we are going to put this CannaKan system to the test. What's going on, everybody? It's Cortez the Conqueror. I don't know, I'm a little nervous today because it wasn't until we were about to start the show and I just started having internet issues. Now, unfortunately, you guys have seen I've had like Wi-Fi connectivity issues a couple times. I have the fastest Wi-Fi that's available for my building, but I really need to figure out another option here.
Yeah.
I can't keep doing this.
Yeah, I know.
And if you guys want to support the channel and support my Wi-Fi endeavor here, buy more Grow Dots and Recharge. You guys can visit www.realgrowers.com/Cortez, and every purchase you make helps the channel, helps with the StreamYard, helps with hopefully this internet here, but I do have to do a little bit of research to find out what's the best option. But now that we got the channel sponsor out of the way, big shout out to the CannaKan, the guest of honor for today. Don's a really great guy. Can't wait to get him on and pick his brain a little bit, bullshit with him. I want to give another really quick shout out to my boy Taking Tops. Recently got some of his live rosin. I actually went out to a dinner party last night, Alicia.
Oh yeah.
Me and the wife went over to Chi-Town Hi-Fi's house.
Yeah. Did they like cakes?
Yeah, so it was kind of cool. I want to say it was like 2 or 3 days ago now. I actually had a little phone meeting with Brett, dude from the Dude Gross.
Mhm.
And we were just kind of doing some game planning, working out some of the finer details for some of the stuff for the cup. So we'll be there. We'll have a full menu, going to be doing food service there. So it was kind of cool to go over to Chi-Town Hi-Fi's house because I was able to test out some of the stuff. I brought over some of the marinara. We did mozzarella sticks. And
Nice.
I brought over some of the cheesecakes. So I covered the appetizer and the dessert. Oh,
Probably
God.
covered a lot with those.
Yeah, I probably got to tone it down a little bit for the cup because this was kind of like my own like personal head stash. So like between the appetizer and the dessert, there was probably like 400 milligrams right there. I woke up still a little bit irie today.
And you guys were responsible. You took a train. You didn't drive after that.
Yeah,
so
we
it's
took.
even better.
Took an Uber to the train, took the train, and took Uber back to the house. So I didn't drive last night.
Yeah. After that much, I bet.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know. I just kind of prefer to stay in the city. Those suburb cops are a little over eager.
Mhm.
It could
Yeah.
be something as simple as like, you know, here in the city, they won't care unless like gunshots are fired. They're not getting out of the SUVs. But you go like out of the city limits, start going towards like the fucking Gentiles. You know what I mean?
They
Yeah,
have
the cop
nothing
comes
else to do.
Yeah, they come up to the
Why?
window like, "Hey, when you were stopped at red light, I noticed you didn't have your seatbelt on. So why don't you go ahead and give me your license and insurance?"
Hmm. Yeah.
Dude, are you like you really have no other like actual crime going around here? Like you noticed I didn't have my seatbelt on?
Well, out in these parts, pretty much. Well, I'm in the country. It's domestic violence and drunk driving is pretty much all they really
Yeah.
have to deal with. I mean, which are big things, but yeah, it doesn't
Right.
happen that
But it's
often.
like,
Yeah.
okay, so I didn't have my seatbelt on. You guys ran my name, and now all of a sudden there's like 2, 3 squads pulling up. You know, it's when you're watching it in the mirror and you're like, I'm going to fucking jail. Like, well,
But-
why do you need 3? Why do you need 3 people before you come back to the window with my ID?
Yeah, exactly. Are you scared?
Yeah, but let's not poke the bear. Let's go ahead and get into our guest of honor here. The Don
What's up,
of
Greg?
Cannabis Germination. How you doing, Don?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, brother. Glad we could get you on. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, happy to be here for sure. I've been looking forward to this.
Right.
So
So
what-
where are you calling in from there, Don?
I'm out of Massachusetts, out of southeastern Massachusetts, almost where I live, where you go out to the Cape. So right over there, right
Okay.
between Providence, Rhode Island, and Boston.
Boston. Big shout out the Southie projects out there.
Yeah,
You guys
I
did
grew
good.
up in a small town. I've been here my whole life. What's that?
Oh no, you finish. You're good.
No, I was just saying I grew up in a small town, a right to farm community. My son is actually 5th generation in the town.
No kidding.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, my great grandfather got some farming land back in the late 1800s, and we've been sticking around ever since.
Nice. Are you
Hell
near
yeah.
the coast?
Yeah, we're about just a few miles from the beaches and stuff.
Nice.
Very nice.
You know.
So how did you get your start in with cannabis?
Just as a whole, when I get introduced into cannabis,
Well, here, let's break it down a little bit. So, like, how old were you when you first consumed cannabis?
hope my kid's not watching. Really, probably like 6th grade, really, realistically.
Okay.
Like I said,
Okay.
small, right to
Yeah, I
farm.
think I was about like 13, so
Yeah, it was middle school age. Like I said, right to farm community, small town. You
I
know,
keep losing internet.
older siblings with older friends.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's,
Keep up
That's
with
usually the
them.
way it goes.
yeah.
But where did you? Okay, so that's kind of where you get your first experiences. But when did you start to get into like cultivation? Like, how did you get introduced into growing the plant?
Well, I've been gardening my whole life, so it wasn't anything new. So it just when it started making sense, you know what I mean? Like, hey man, I can kind of probably get away with this and not spend all kinds of money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just
Maybe make a couple dollars in the process.
yeah, no, it's more about just having enough for consumption for the year and not spending and chasing and because it's not like it is now, you know what I mean? I grew up in the 80s, you know what I mean, where it was brick and you know what I mean, and you had
Mhm.
a frisbee and a business card and you would separate in all those seeds,
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
every once in a while.
Not only that, it wasn't even always around. You might go through a
No,
drought
man,
you
we
can't
would
even get your fucking hands on that brick weed.
not only that, think about it. We didn't have cell phones, so it was all done by pay phones. If you didn't get a hold of somebody, what you do? You go to the city next to us and cruise up and down the
Yep.
avenue until
Yep.
maybe you saw somebody you knew, and just to find out that they're on the avenue looking too. You know what I mean?
Looking
So
too.
it's like it was never a win, and not always, but yeah, it was a lot. It was much different than it is now. That's for sure. Every once in a while,
like a special code to somebody's pager.
yeah, when pages came out, that was amazing. You know what I mean? And oh yeah, we do the didn't even have change the collect call coming from, hey, meet me on the avenue in 20 minutes. So
Yeah.
different times. Every once in a while a seed will sneak in and then you get that smell and you're like, oh, I feel like a kid again.
Yeah. And it ruins the whole thing.
But that's when
All of a sudden you hear that pop, get hit.
Yeah,
in the neck,
right.
Take
But
a
that
shrapnel from the fucking joint. You know what I mean?
Well, for me, that takes me back, so I'm all right with that. It's a good pain. But that's when you would hang out, say I was maybe 14, 15, 16, and you're hanging out with somebody that's 20, and you're like, man, it smells like they got a dead animal in their pocket. Like that smells like a skunk. Like that was the real deal. Never seen
What's
it,
that smell coming out of my mom's
Dude.
room?
Yeah, man. No, my parents were straight edge. Holy cow, yeah, no, definitely not.
What do they think about like you now? Like what you're doing now? Do they?
Well, my father passed away when I was 16. My mother, yeah, I have a strange relationship with her, but I guess she's proud.
Yeah.
I don't
You
know.
can use it.
Glad to see you doing good.
Yeah.
I use the CannaKan to germinate habanero seeds. I mean, you could use it for anything.
For all kinds of seeds.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the one thing. So I just released a how-to video where I flew out to Astro, and a lot of people are asking like, oh, why don't you just say the temperature that you're running them? And it's because technically it's not a cannabis product. It's an agricultural product for germinating seeds. The actual company is the actual company is CannaKan. CannaKan is the brand. That's where the tray version, I don't know if you've looked at, we've had coming out in the future, will really go into play, is really larger scale, facilities and within the agricultural, industry more so. The can is kind of my baby. This is where it all started. But to be honest, when you get into the development phase, when you're come up with a product or you've invented something, and this isn't the first thing I invented. This is the only thing that really made sense. I get teased about some of my other inventions, but I hope this makes enough money that I can fund those ideas someday. And this kind of like I told you was a good idea too. This was just a little better.
So the CannaKan, that's kind of like more of the direct to consumer more of like we'll call it
This
like
is
the home hobbyist.
Yeah, and I don't like to even put it there because even for somebody like me, like I've had people say, "Oh, it's a good product for a beginner." Not really, because I've been growing for over a decade, and I created it because it made it easier. You know what I mean?
I was
But,
more
no.
saying
But it is
that,
more so on
right.
it's more budget friendly. You know what I mean? It's super
Mhm.
easy. I mean, you could do up to 8 strains in the thing. You could do 100 seeds in
Right.
one shot.
Well, no, the reason I brought it up, you were talking about like a tray thing, so I think that's
Right.
more for like
So
somebody that's
correct,
growing
a
for
little bit more.
dispensaries to where they got rooms with
Serious,
350
yeah,
plants
or
in
well,
it a piece.
it's also gonna be you can put clones in it. It's for propagation too, so it's more
Oh,
versatile.
really?
Yeah, so it's and I'm a grower for growers. So even the CannaKan, so the CannaKan is the product that for me, that's somebody that was, I've done the direct sewing, I've done just floating, I've done the baggy thing, I've done it all. So when people
Mhm.
say, "Oh, so haven't I," and so haven't I my whole
Right.
life. People talk living soil and this new thing. No, living soil, I've been doing that my whole life. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? This is something I've done my whole life. And I created this because I'm experienced and I know that there was an easier way. And this
Yeah.
was the way. And it is easier. Um, so this was kind of what I would want, what I personally would want at a price that I would want that I thought was fair.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and a product that I didn't have to continually keep buying every season. Or if I
Yeah.
accidentally knelt on it, it
Like
broke.
a isolating fan.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so it's
One of those
it's
wear
very,
items.
yeah, it's basically it's a simple product. It's
Mhm.
reusable. It's made of polypropylene number 5. So you're talking generational plastic. You're talking your grandmother's old mustard color Tupperware that sticks around that you go donate somewhere. It's that same
Yeah.
quality plastic. And it made sense. I there was a lot of different ways I could have went with this. And like I said, I was building a product for myself. What do I want? I want something that's going to last forever. I want something that I can sterilize, and I want something that's simple. So with a polypropylene number 5, you're talking something that's going to last you forever. The new heat pads that I just upgraded to with the far infrared technology, those they're rated for 30,000 service hours. So you're talking, technically it could be a generational product, and that's what I would want. I've lost more monies in bad germination. Bud Boutique, I love him. I'll talk about him in a minute.
Mhm.
And you know what? I'm just going to talk about him now because I love Bud Boutique. Bud Boutique is somebody that reached out to me the beginning of this year, and he's part of my journey in this amazing journey. And he reached out to me at the beginning of the year and was kind of like, he likes cool products, reach out to the company, wants to try stuff. And he was just one of many, you know what I mean, reaching out, but he was consistent and he really, I was like, he kept reaching out. I was like, wow, let me see what this guy's about.
Yeah.
And
Beat down the door.
so he's overseas in another country. He's over near Germany.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, man, it's amazing. The dog doctor, Gonjanier, and like there's so many people,
Yeah.
these growers.
I know those guys.
Man, it's like I'm meeting these great people from around the world. Like this is like
I
just
know,
the
a
journey in
dream.
itself is amazing. And so Bud and I have become very good friends. I talk to him almost daily. He is Team CannaKan, man. He is going to be a big part of CannaKan. He already is. He's donated and his time to help me reach certain deadlines recently. Help me
That's
write up a
really
bunch
cool.
of stuff. Yeah, man. And this is a guy that's 6 hours different from me. He knows my whole family now. He has weekly meetings with my son and myself, and it's amazing. And hopefully I get to meet him soon to get in real life. We're working on that, but
Yeah, all
Yeah.
those
Yeah,
guys are really cool. I know a lot of them. I almost got like the David Hasselhoff, like Jerry Lewis thing going on because I kind of like cut my teeth in the auto or in the grow community as an autoflower guy. So
right.
it was like when I first started off, I was like more popular over there than I was in the United States, kind of
Yeah,
until
yeah,
like
yeah.
the Dude Grow show brought everything like
Sure.
full circle. But there's some amazing growers over there. Big shout out, Norma G.
Oh, I
Shows a
love
lot of
Norma
support
G.
to the
100%.
community.
Absolutely.
Dog Doctor.
Yeah,
I
my
actually kind of
guy.
met him through Alicia, but I actually talk to him like pretty regularly now. He's a really cool guy.
Yeah, Dog is Dog is he's one of the first growers outside of, I'm really new into the community. I'm not new into the cannabis thing itself, but the community I am only
Right.
a couple few years in. Dog is somebody that I connected with really early on. We've become, I call him a friend. He really is. He's a really good friend. He's a big supporter of CannaKan. He's done a lot. We got Mr. Gannix, who's another, like I've met some like Alicia. Alicia is another one. Like Alicia's like my, she's an OG. There's Untrained. Like I don't look at the
Original.
Big
chat.
shout out to Untrained Astronaut,
Yeah.
who's actually going to be our guest next week.
Oh, awesome. Amazing. I love
Yeah.
Astro.
Yeah, unpronounced
An amazing
stuff.
lineup.
Lines you guys up perfectly.
Yeah, crazy. And it's amazing. It's like there's some really big bumps in this road, and one just happened a couple of days ago. But there's like, yeah, it's certified. Like you're putting up all these great people. I don't look at the chats because I get distracted. I just want to look at everybody that's there. But
they're pretty active today. They came out for it, Don.
yeah, because I love these people. They're great people. It's all of them. It's. I'm not somebody. If I'm Anthony, like you're throwing them all up, and I'm not somebody that like if I'm in your chat or visiting your channel, I'm super busy, and it's because I want to be there, and I don't fake being there. You know what I mean? Bunny, Tyler. I heard he's got the new heat.
Tyler, I know. Yeah, we know them all.
The DeWalt guy.
It's
DeWalt guy.
Man, it's humbling. It's amazing how you old school guy in a small town, you kind of set in your ways. I just turned 50 this year, and then it's surprising to see that I've got this new life happening. Like there's all these really great people that I've met along the way, and he's got a nice little note too. Yeah, man. It's crazy. It's like all these people I've like when I get in a chat, it's like I'm saying hi to you because I want to, because we've connected, and it's so many of them, and it's I feel blessed. Like I flew out to Astro and got to work with him for 4 days straight. Like we're going to Vegas in a few weeks.
He's next level with all that filming stuff.
He's next level person. He's just a good person. He's exactly who he appears to be. Like when I met him the first day when I was going to leave to go to my hotel, I was like, wow, man, it's like I didn't even
big
meet
shout
him.
out
Like
the whole DGC.
It's pretty amazing, man. It's like I said, there's some knuckleheads, but for the majority of it,
you get them everywhere.
Damn good.
But for
yeah,
me,
I just got some people with some an
You
audience
get some
that's kinda
trolls
like,
every so often.
yeah, just trying to break me and take me down, and I don't get it, man. And
But
I
you know
think-
what? That means you're doing something right.
yeah,
Like
yeah, it's just, man, it's
you
just like
gotta
I don't.
realize sometimes like you can't really take like heart to it. Like there will be sometimes that people like try to make like little trolls towards me, and I just kind of like
Yeah.
laugh at it. Like I
Like,
don't
I-
even really give them like any oxygen.
I've
You
said
know what
it,
I mean?
a
But
little while ago.
If you
that,
weren't doing something right, you wouldn't have people trolling you.
it's just tough
That
because
means
you
you've gotten
live,
to a certain point to where you've gotten enough attention to where.
yeah, so that's where it is. It's like because I can't comprehend what it's like to knock somebody. I don't know how you get yourself into a position like that where you're like really like thinking about your next move to take somebody down that you don't even know, like where you should be supporting this guy that is just another dude like you in the chat that got a great opportunity, had a good idea, and is working very hard and sacrificing everything. Is there any respect for that? You know what I mean? but it was very clear recently
Some
that it
people
was
just
like
thrive
I'm not.
off of drama. They're like chaos agents. You know
It
what I
was
mean?
just tough, that realization where you're no longer Don. You know what I mean? From Westport, you're
No, yeah,
can of business. You're a
yeah.
business. You know what I mean? And but I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm really not. I'm just a guy that's like trying to get this thing out to people. You know what I mean? Because I love
Right,
it,
right.
and I found my passion and my place in life, man. So it's like, but enough of that. It's back to these relationships that, like, look at you guys. I'm like, I was excited to talk to you guys today because it's like, Cortez and I, we got to talk one night we went
Yeah,
on for a couple of hours, and it was
I think we
it's really
did.
cool. Alicia, my OG, and I called it. She's my original Germinator. She was way back. You know what I mean? A supporter from back when I first came out.
Yeah, yeah.
It's tough when you come out and everybody's set in their ways. You've been doing something for so long, and then all of a sudden this, 4 pieces of plastic come out. You're like, what the hell is this hooky thing? Bullshit. It's
I'm actually really excited to try this soon because, like, admittedly, like, full disclosure, I'm not the biggest fan of seeds. But I
right.
came, when I first started out, I was like the autoflower guy. So like I popped so many seeds that it's kind of like at the point to where it broke me. And then, sometimes you get phenos that don't really perform. You'll get something finicky. So like if I have my way, I'm going to go in with clones. I'm going to go in with guaranteed winners. But at the same time, I have some seeds to pop. Like I got this big run coming up after the photo run I'm doing now. I'm going back to autoflowers. So I'm going to test your system out with some stuff that Daz sent over. So I got some really cool night owl stuff. I think
I saw that.
some of it's out of his new drop or whatever. But like,
that's
here's one of the reasons why I kind of stay away from seeds if I can too. Like I can germinate seed, you know what I mean? Like if I got everything dialed in, it'll be like the one time I don't pay attention. Like there's been times I've gone to like pop 10 seeds and 1 or 2 will germinate. And I've just wasted like so much. Like, man, I don't know what it is. Like I'll just go through these cycles to where it's like, I can't get a seed to germinate for the life. And people look at the stuff I put on Instagram, on everything else, but I go through these like little phases, maybe like once a year, where I just can't germinate a seed for like the life of me.
Well, that's going to be over with. But I like that you say like, oh, when you forget, right? So we just did a trade show last weekend, which is a crazy story in itself too, because everybody can't. I'll tell that if you want to hear it in a second. But
yeah,
what I did do is I was germinating some new seeds for Kid Frost because I love him. Because one thing I'm hoping to do right now is, as my platform grows, I want to take advantage of that and share that platform with some of these incredible small breeders that I know. But so we did the show, and then I was like, oh shit, I got to get the stuff out from the trade show. And I went through the totes today, and I was talking to Bud Boutique when I opened it up, and we forgot these on. These were inside a tote in the house, and look at these things.
Yeah, exactly. Like you could forget about it. They'll be fine.
Right? They didn't dry out, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Right, look at these things.
Yeah, they're ready.
Yeah, you think they're ready for harvest.
Things are about ready to start popping some cotyledons.
Even if you neglect them. You know what I'm saying? Like they and they're all germinated. There's no duds in here. Because sometimes too is it goes so fast that you're like, oh, 2 days, 3 days, they didn't pop. And then you leave them off and you're like, oh, wait.
Or have you ever got them like wet, like in a cup or something to where you like ended up drowning them? I've done that too.
Yeah, that's
when you get like seeds just like way the fuck too wet and you just kind of like drown and they just
yeah, they need oxygen too. And that's
like,
the thing. And that's why
that one was a dud.
Yeah, that's why I say, and that's the thing is like, there's so many variables, you know what I mean? And I was able to pull those out in a very organized and consistent way. It wasn't me inventing a product to invent a product to go try to become some millionaire. It was me trying to stop losing seeds because I'm germinating for my friends, and they're looking at me like, dude, like I spent all kinds of money on seed. What happened? You did so good last year. And it was me using it and the consistency of it that was like, oh shit, like I'm onto something. Like, wait a minute. And I know because everybody's coming to me to germinate their seeds that there's a lot of people having this issue.
Yeah.
And even for people that even if you're going to direct sew, you can still organize like your silk in here. You can still silk them ahead of time and
Yeah.
organized.
At least get them to crack.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I just say, you know, because once you get them to a certain point and they get over that 1/2 inch to 3/4, you're not worried about look at these. They're
It's
not
gonna
damping off. They're not doing anything. They're just growing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, I could plant these today and they would all turn green in the next 2 days and start growing, no problem.
Are those
Can
all
you tell
canvas
us a
seeds?
little bit more about that heat mat and how that works? Because that was kind of like my big question about the system. Like, I'm just trying to wrap my head around it a little bit
All
more.
right,
So
so
understand
I
it better.
have this one. This one doesn't have the controller. I should have brought one down. So I am so excited about the new heat pads. This was a sample I had, and what I did do is I put it through the ringer and I beat the shit out of this thing. So I don't know if you let me see if I have another one.
So I'm like, ooh.
Okay. This would be better. I'm glad you asked. And I'm glad I had
So
this stuff laying
I
around.
got one with the controller.
There you go. So this
Yep.
is a traditional heat pad. And look
Okay.
at as soon as I did that, this cord just broke. Okay. This is a traditional heat pad.
Mhm.
So you have the metal taping that goes so you're susceptible to like hot spots. Oh, look at that. I got a little helper.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So this is a traditional heat pad where you have your wire taping or you'll have a wire that runs. And if you notice, like they all end, they're not continuous. So there's chances for hot spots and everything else. And it being uneven.
Or even a
being-
dead spot.
Being warm, yeah, dead spots or warmer near where the plug is. This backwards camera thing is messed up. But
I know.
so all right, so the difference with these two is what happens is, and this is what we're noticing, and it's not just the ones that we had the previous ones,
Me too.
is if you plug this into the outlet, it's one temperature. If you put it into, and it's all heat pads without a controller, and then you plug it into a power strip, it's a different temperature. Plug it into an extension cord, it's a different temperature. Put it on a different surface, it's a different temperature, always a different temperature.
Right.
And as soon as I started identifying that, it was like, dude, like literally I threw out tens of thousands of dollars of profits in heat pads because I want it to be perfect. This is the new heat pads. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And I could plug this thing, I'll beat up like this and it'll still work. I don't have a cord over here, but I've done it. I've ripped this thing about 30 times apart. So what this is it's got these metal bars on either end. They're real thin metal and they're coated in silver. Now, in between is a heat film. And what they do is they screen print a zinc paste underneath it. So these things, every millimeter of it gets warm. It's like there's no inconsistency. From bar to bar is the same. Super accurate. When you put it on one temp, it's always on one temp. I don't care if you put it on a concrete countertop, granite, put it on plywood, put it on rubber, wherever you put it, it is going to keep your can at the perfect temperature all the time. And I've tested it everywhere. You know what I mean? I tested this thing for months over and over and over and over again. And it's just absolutely insane how well these work. So they heat up instantly. It's got an internal thermometer. It's got internal thermostat. So there's no extra other cables. Well, this is the one. It's just one cable and it's super simple. And these are, like I said, see how it's rolled up even? You don't have to worry about these. So you can roll it all back up, throw it right back in your bundle bag and be ready for the next time you're going. And they're good for 30,000 service hours. 30,000.
30,000.
Yeah, if you germinated 4 times a year, it'd be like over 100 years you'd be able to technically use this thing.
Oh, that makes
That's
sense.
what I say.
Jesus
And then you
Christ.
have the number 5 polypropylene. And like, you know, from a business standpoint on if it was like an umbrella or something you would say, well, that's kind of foolish because you're only going to sell one to somebody and they're never going to buy it again. But because it's such a unique product and it's the only one in the world, like I'm in the international patent pending patent process,
You just landed that big thing with Seedsman recently, too.
Man.
They're
sure,
definitely an international company right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's so many people.
Yeah, and the Seedsman thing, what an amazing team, what amazing people. Like I've said, it seems like a no-brainer that when Seedsman reaches out to you, you just say where to sign. They'll tell you that was not my approach at all. We went through many of weeks and months of negotiating and talking. Not even negotiating. I don't want to say that because it was the biggest non-business.
You gotta be careful of the Dutch
did.
sometimes, though. You gotta watch them a little bit.
What's that?
Oh, I was just making fun of Dutch people.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I said, you watch them a little.
No, they're from England or wherever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I'm from England.
So the thing is being a website developer, having multiple businesses in the past. Then I was also a website developer, work with companies and did online marketing. Tom was far different than any other business person I've ever met in my life. From get-go. He reached out to me on Instagram and was kind of like, hey, love the product, love to promote it. And I said, yeah, okay, Tom from Seedsman. He's sure you need to work on your handle, be a little bit more creative, Tom from Seedsman. And then he hit me up again and he's like, hey, let's do a giveaway.
From like a dummy account.
That's what I thought it was. And
one of those logo scammer guys.
Right? Yeah. What are you gonna do? Make me a cool new logo, Tom from Seedsman?
I make you fire logo, fam.
Maybe that's where MySpace went.
Well, it could be. I'll have to ask him. He's pretty honest and open about stuff. So if it was him, he'll tell me.
Yeah.
But it was right from the second I met him. So in Boston, we did a trade show, and somebody said, "Hey, somebody from Seedsman is looking to talk to you," and that's when the wheel started turning, and I was like, "Oh crap, that was him." And but he was just such I could tell that I could tell that he was in love with the product more than anything. He respected the product, and once I got to talk to him and tell him my story, it was like, it was a done deal. He was just all about. It was crazy because it wasn't like he was about Seedsman selling CannaKan. He was just like, holy, much respect, man. This is an amazing product, super innovative. I haven't seen anything like this. It's such a good fit in your grind. All the respect in the world. And he was like, what do you want to do? And I said, I don't know, because I'm new at this. And he said, cool. Let me know when you're ready. I want to be the first one to sell it. That's all I'm asking. And so he walked away, and I was kind of like, holy shit, that was really Tom from Seedsman. Yeah. And I took time to process it. And then I kind of went over to his booth and I gifted them a couple. And I just said, and I just kind of told them, like, look at, I'm in unfamiliar water. I don't want to sell my soul to investors. So I'm trying to figure this out, and I'm taking day by day, trying to make this work. And he's like, that's great. So keep doing what you're doing, because it's pretty amazing. And we didn't talk for a bit. And then he hit me back up on Instagram and was like, hey, where are you? What's going on? And I'm just trying to get my footing. You know what I mean? I'm a one-man company, man. Like, that's not an understatement.
Do you actually manufacture these yourself?
No, I have them plastic injected overseas. I was starting them on 3D printed. I did all my prototyping there, but the actual product is getting made overseas. And he finally was. This is how I could tell that he was like he was really, because I got hit up from a lot of companies, and a lot of stores, and and it was very similar, and he was not. And finally he was like, man, do you need help? Because I can help you. That's why I'm trying to, like, I love it. I love what you got going on. I can help you. My passion is what you got going on, is helping companies and small people like you get to where they deserve. And I was like, oh shit, man, maybe we should talk. And we started talking, and he was super. It was even his emails. It was all about CannaKan and me and bettering myself and setting myself up for, to win. And he started really suggesting it, and what he was sending from emails, it wasn't like, hey, I want to sell your product and this is my product and I want to do it for this and I want to make this much money. It was, I'd get off with a call with him or an email, and I would take his suggestions in and implement those into the business. And I was seeing, shit, man, I'm starting to structure my business now, because I was always in the front end, the promote, the branding, and getting out there, that I was neglecting everything else. And he's like, oh, you get too far with that, you're just gonna implode. And it was always like, hey, Don, how you making out with this? You're with Cassie and you get this going on, and we love your product, by the way. And finally, I just kind of like bared my soul to him. I was like, big business guy. I'm like, oh. And I just kind of told him where I was. Like, look, I feel like I hit the lottery. I got a bunch of vultures. I don't know what to do. You're far different than anybody I've ever talked to, and I need help. I really, you know what I mean? And I need, somebody that can, because I think that the reason why I'm talking to Tom from Seedsman 7 months on the market is because you know what I have. I know what I have.
Well, yeah.
But I'm scared to what happens next. And, he hit me back with some options of what I wanted to do. And he gave me a list of things. And I was like, oh, shit, nothing that he's saying is like clicking with me. And I felt stupid. Right. And I was kind of like, then I would just give him stupid answers. Like he was like, oh, what do you see going on? I'm like, oh, I sell millions of these and I'm going to hit this many numbers. And it was just foolishness. And then finally I was like, dude, you just got to be straight with this guy.
Yeah.
Every time I was straight with him, it was really good. He came back to me straight and we got things done. It wasn't like beating around the bush. Yeah. So I told him, I was like, Tom, I may be naive or foolish, but this is a one-of-a-kind product and it works. It's not a bobblehead on the dashboard. Like, this is going to help growers, like the way it's helped me. And I think that CannaKan could be a global brand. I think this could be a worldwide product. And I don't want to license it out. I don't want to deface my product to put somebody else's name on it. I don't want to sell to investors. I don't want to go public. I don't. I want to. This is my one shot in life. Like at 50 years old, I was like, oh my God, I found it. I'm going all the way. And I'm not giving it off to anybody else. Yeah. I'm going to chase this thing to the end. And I think that this could be a global brand. And he clearly said, you and I are on the same page. Let's get to work. I was like, oh shit.
That's like the perfect partnership though, to go with like a seed bank. No, it's just kind of like everything works out like organically, you know what I mean? It just kind of goes hand in hand.
And to go with a company that's been doing this for 22 years. This is a guy.
They're probably honestly the main seed bank that I've gone through over the years. Probably more seedsmen than anybody else.
And it's Tiger One.
It's where I've gotten a lot of fast buds, a lot of everything.
Yeah. Nice
that's what Seedsman is. They're the hub. They're the ones that have all that licensing, the permits, the paperwork to be able to send other people's, their seeds globally. And of course they have their select breeders. But it's beyond the name Seedsman, because I got contact with a lot of big people, and it was Tom. Tom is, if it wasn't Tom, I don't care about the name Seedsman. I do. Don't get me wrong, because it's Seedsman and they're very reputable. They have a great name. But when you peel that skin back, you see why. Because Tom is an amazing guy, and he's straightforward. He has integrity. He's the guy that's like proposing me something, and then at the end of that message is tear this apart and question everything. Like, don't take my word for it, Don. Question everything I'm sending you. You know what I mean? And don't do anything until you're comfortable. And it's like, and he's like that all the way through. So it's, I'm slowly, because I could jump in and just go but I'm slowly doing this with them because I want this relationship to last, because I can't see a better relationship for CannaKan than with to start with somebody with seeds.
Seems like something that's really genuine.
It is. And it's because you can't hide passion, and you can't hide, that true feeling. Like when I talk to the folks at Seedsman, we're all like this. Yeah. We're all excited about CannaKan, and to be able to talk to other people that are fired up too. That's who you want on your team. People that actually love it, not looking to make a profit, because when I went with the new heat pads and they cost 3 times as much as the other ones, I only priced it up $10 more on the bundle, which I think is an incredible value because, like I said,
Yeah.
generational product. It should be at $96. And I actually said to them, like, look, I don't want to pass this cost onto the buyers, to the community, to the users. Like, I don't. And they said, yeah, we don't want to do that either. If that's what you want, we're into that too. And they didn't. And when they first launched it on this site, they went with a traditional markup. And I said, hey, what's going on? Like, oh, no, that's not going to, nope. And right away, they went right back to what they said. Like, they're true to their word, and they're amazing. All of them. Like, everybody I've met has been, like, sometimes I feel like I'm kind of being like a nuisance, and they're just like, nope, anything you need, Don. Like, we're here for you. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And to talk to them and have them excited is just like the best.
So if somebody wanted to get a CannaKan, where should they go? Like, do you have a website, or how would somebody go about that one?
CannaKan.com. Yep, you go there, and I'm sure that. So we just started an affiliate program, and we have a couple affiliates going on. I'm just testing it right now because I know there's going to be some complications. I'm so new to this, but I'm sure you have there's some people in the community that definitely have a code for CannaKan. So.
Yeah, there's codes out there for sure.
I don't know if you have one, Alicia. Nice. I don't even know. I'm so lost, but.
No, I don't. But I have a CannaKan and I have a banner. So.
Oh, you do. So you need a code. You're just missing one thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so very easy. I mean, I'm on Amazon too, but please don't buy it from Amazon. I'm only on Amazon because to be on Amazon. But Amazon is they're soul eaters, man. Like the percentage they take from you, and then when they ship it, I'm like, man, I'm losing $2 every time I ship it. And they're like, and I'm like, hey, can we adjust that? Like,
my buddy Scotty has a lot of problems with them. Like, they'll try to reclassify the recharge and put it as I think they put it as like pesticides or something one time.
Oh, they had me
for a while. They couldn't sell it. Yeah,
they had me under like pesticides or something too. And I'm like, dude, it's germination.
Yeah,
it's not. I'm not trying to kill anything here. And not only that,
no, they were trying to kill your posting on Amazon because they recognized it as a cannabis product.
Yeah,
it's all part of the game.
It's crazy. And then like they just generalize their shipping. So like they'll charge somebody like $5 or $6, and then I get the shipping, and it's like I made like $3 on it. So they're eating $2, and I say, hey, wait, I'm losing $2 every time, and they're like, well, we're Amazon. You don't like it, go away.
Right.
Yeah.
But every time you get a sale, you're making $2 more off me on top of what you're already killing me.
What we're already getting cut of.
It's almost like you're selling to a wholesaler, but you got to pack every single order. It's like, it's awful. But it's Amazon, and it's like I do probably 20%.
Jeff Bezos, man.
Yeah, probably
he's got to put some of that money back after that broad peeled him in that divorce.
20% of my sales is through Amazon, so it's like, what do I do?
Yeah. They're kind of a necessary evil, but it is kind of like the China.
Uh-oh.
Did he pause?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
My internet's been cutting out this whole time.
It's been pretty good for the most part.
See, I say something about Jeff Bezos and they attack my internet.
That's what my point was.
Yo,
it's the deep state. They're turning the frogs gay.
Exactly.
But one thing that's cool is
one way or another. The word can't get out.
We're all going to Vegas soon.
The algorithm.
MJBizCon.
Yeah, so that's cool. And Seedsman will be having something with CannaKan going on at their booth, which is pretty exciting. So I think I'll be frequent and over there getting to know the team in real life, which is going to be really cool. I know Otto is going to be
Which one is that for? That's for the MJBizCon?
Correct. Yep. And I think it's like 3 weeks away.
Yeah, I know it's coming up. Some people reached out to me, but I don't know. I haven't gone to it. I usually use all my time off for the DGC Cup, though.
It's understandable. It's where I'm at and what I'm trying to do. It makes sense. I'm extremely excited to go because it's a lot's been going on lately. So when I have
Have
a
you
little bit of a road trip
any
coming up next
of
year too.
the CannaKan stuff yet done?
No.
Okay.
We'll
Yeah,
see
I
what
know
happens
that's
this year.
something that comes through Chicago, but I know they go state by state. I think they do like regions or whatever.
Yeah.
I think I went to that like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. The one in Chicago is kind of interesting, but it kind of was more of like a trade show
Yeah.
rather than for like
Well,
just
I
growers, because some
I
of the
do a lot of
booths
the
you go
trade
up to,
shows.
they're like, oh yeah, orders start at 10,000 pieces. You know, it's like,
Oh yeah. That type of trade show. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No. I like the smaller trade shows. We do a lot of them because I get to meet a lot of people that are like this year. We just did one last weekend. Yeah, that's where these seeds are from. So, which was kind of like it went bad. Like we have the show. I'm getting ready to get everything and go on Friday to be there for Saturday, and Wednesday I get my first person that can't make it, and they were for legitimate reasons. And then the other people that volunteered was like one after the other, was like dominoes. And it was like, I was talking to Mo. He's like, who's going to show? I'm like, just me. And I'm like, oh no. And my son, who's going to be 15 next month, caught wind of it. And he was like, Dad, I'll go. I'll help you. And I'm like, really?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
And he's like,
that
yeah,
work?
do you need me to go? I'm like, listen, if you can just handle the transactions, like just run the tablet and that's it. And he's like, oh, would you care if I like talk to people about CannaKan? And I'm like, well, other than me and Mo, you're probably the third person in line that knows the most about it. Like you're living around it.
Yeah.
This is a kid when he was 12 years old, and I came up with this, and I was like, oh shit, Tyler, I'm walking away from my business. Like I'm closing down shop, and I don't think you're gonna have a Christmas or a birthday for the next 3 years. And he was like, dude, go get it, Dad. You're like, you know what I mean? At 12 years old.
Wow.
And for him last week, and for him to be like, no, Dad, if you need me, I'll go do it. And I'm like, you're gonna give up your weekend? He's like, yeah, let's go. And I was like, oh shit, hopefully they let him in and it's not a problem. And
hey, he's with me.
Yeah, don't worry.
Get him like a little fake mustache or something.
Well, what's cool is I know, right? I gotta bring 2 kids so I could throw them on one shoulders and they go in too.
And then the overcoat.
Yeah, and
got some Scooby-Doo stuff going on.
I think this is the CannaKan was a really a blessing too, for the reason like I'm teaching my son about the cannabis industry, and he's not learning it from somebody handing him an unknown joint behind a library. He went into this at 12 years old, seeing the seed germination thing come to play. Then when I went to do my first trade show, I kind of showed him like, hey, CannaKan is cannabis. And but explaining it to him, like, look at this market, look at the trending things here, look what's going on here. And he was like, wow, Dad, that makes sense. And I'm like, yeah, no,
you're teaching him how to be an entrepreneur.
Well, it's his company.
Teaching him how to be a businessman.
Is it mine? I'm 50 years old. This is for him. So for him to step up at 15 years old, where's he going to be when he's 18?
No,
and to have him stepping up this year and being like, going to talk to these people saying, oh yeah, well, my dad came up with this. It's the only product in the world that allows you to soak and germinate multiple varieties of seeds. All the partitions are numbered. You use a little chart. And I'm like, holy shit, man, like this is amazing. And people were like, damn.
And he went in there and he killed it.
Crushed it. And because he's been seeing what's going on and we're living around it, you don't think my dining room table is loaded with me making T-shirts and pressing the icon, the logos on the bags, and the kitchen counters are germination stations and the stuff of packing. Dude, I have a plastic fold-out table in the middle of our kitchen that's got the assembly line with the plastic bags, the bundles underneath the table. You just go down. My whole first floor of our house and the basement is storage. We're living around this, and my girl's like, and I'm like, it's temporary. It's temporary. I promise. Like, did you ever hear those?
You got the whole assembly line on the 6x4 table.
It's crazy, and but this is the environment my son is in now, and he's been in it for over 2.5 years. And I walk him through the back door of this civic center where he's going through a crowd of 60, 80 people. Smoking mad weed, going through the cloud, and he's carrying his shit and doesn't skip a beat. You know what I mean? And to be so mature And like I said,
Yeah.
listen, I have some online meetings. If you see a kid with long hair and a hat sitting there and paying attention, that's my son Tyler, and he's gonna sit on the meeting, and I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't care, because at 18 years old, if he keeps going, I am going to make him the president of CannaKan at 18.
Oh, look at that. Got 2 years, Tyler.
3. He's got 3 years to crush it.
Oh.
And he'll do
Make
it.
him work
He's,
for it, Don. Make him work for it.
you know, and
He's working.
it's finding his way to where it's not like where he doesn't feel like he's working for it, because I've tried to get him to help fold the instructions and do stuff, and he's like, nah, nope. He's like, hey, I need you. I'm like, well, I hear him going up the stairs like shit. But I don't want to burn him out. But when I said, hey, we need a hub where we can talk within the business on Discord, let's do it that way because people are familiar. Oh, I got it. Him and Mo crushed it. They made this cool Discord
I'm the
thing,
worst with Discord.
Yeah, me too. I get it. I'm like,
I'm
oh.
Discord lexic.
Oh, me too.
Like, there's been times where I've gone on other people's platforms and they choose to record their show through that Discord thing. It's like I need a help, or hopefully it's pre-recorded because I might be like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I get lost.
Just trying to get on that fucking thing.
And so recently, he's also like, he helped me film a video. He did all the editing, and so where I see him get passionate about it, then that's where I'm like, not push him, but leave the door wide open for him. Do what you want, because then it's just less I gotta do, you know. And he's killing it. So he's a lot like me. So why not take advantage of that? And
it's great
because of this opportunity of CannaKan, I can get him to not go through the experiences and the road I traveled to get to here. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
So if I can, and the best thing about it was at the end of the trade show, we closed up the booth, and him and I already had a hotel room. So we went to the hotel. I gave him his own key card. He was like, boss man, got my own key card. And, you know, I had to go out to the truck. He met me out there, and it was like that independence. And then we went out for a meal, like had a business meal, like got stupid amount of, you know, appetizers, and we ate like holiday stupid, you know what I mean? Couldn't finish anything. But it was
so cute.
It was so amazing, man. It went from like this, holy shit, I'm going to run this trade show by myself, where this was the first step of bringing my son into CannaKan, which is his future.
Yeah.
So it was
that's so awesome.
It was honestly,
building something that's generational, you know what I mean?
It was one of the best weekends of my life.
That's nice. That's cool.
Yeah, it was
really cool.
It was actually
seeing
incredible.
them also get a good handle on it too. So it's like you guys are a team.
Yeah, we are a team. You know what I mean? This is, you know, I don't want that big company. I don't want employees. I don't want that. Send it to a fulfillment center. I want to be passionate. I want to be talking about my product, and I want to travel and do that. And I want him on the side of me the whole way. You know what I mean? That's what I want. That's my dream. I'm 50 years old with a son that's like my everything. I want him with me everywhere. You know, and to hear him parroting, it's such in wording it his own way on that trade show just gave me like that security, that hope, like, because this is a grind, man. I'm sacrificing. I haven't had a day off, and I haven't made a penny in almost 3 years. And to know that once this grind's over, because I'm seeing the summit, it's coming, that I know that regardless what happens to me, that it's going to be in good hands, and we can push what I think is going to be a legacy. I mean, I think this is, I'm blessed, man. This is a chance in a many of lifetimes. What's happening right now, and I'm not going to squander it. And I'm not, you know, I'm very humbled by the community, by everybody, and you know, my goal is to, I'm not a bank account guy. I'm not a profit guy. I'm a principal guy. If we have our bills paid and I have an inspection sticker that's passed on the truck, anything above that is gravy. So like I said, just like I want to use my platform now to help showcase deserving people, I'm hoping CannaKan can hopefully it helps somehow within the growing community. I don't know what that is yet, but I know that, you know, I want to give back. I want to, money is nothing. It's what you do. It's that legacy. It's that how people talk about you and how they remember you, which is important. The rest of it, just life's short, man. you know, and I
definitely
it took me 50 years to finally be like, because I've always was like, what am I meant to be? I'm failing as a partner. I'm failing as a father. You know what I mean? I'm failing myself. And the second I had, you know, this is the first CannaKan. This is when this just changed everything. This was like, no, this is why I'm here. This is why I went from working construction to working a sales job so I could learn how to multitask and understand the business side of it. How I learned how to be efficient in this, why I got into marketing. It was like everything I ever learned in my life went into play to allow me to build CannaKan by myself, to take a $400,000, $500,000 quote down to under $60,000. You know what I mean? Because I did everything myself. And
Right.
it was,
I think that was one of the things that me and you kind of talked about, though, that one night. Then, how long did you do the construction thing for?
Well, so after my father passed away, I kind of got a little lost. I didn't like senior year. I dropped out of school. I went, you know, he was pretty young, so I was like, fuck it. Why? You know what I mean? I'm just going to just let loose and just go for it and, like, you know, party till I die. And, you know, I had to pay stuff. So it was easy, you know, without a formal education or anything, you could, as long as you worked hard.
Right. As long as you had the work ethic.
Yeah. So I started off like shortly after I worked at a pet store. I went from like cleaning hamster cages to managing the store in less than a year and a half. I was there for 5 years, and it was not just, it was this big mass of like people lined up on the road, double parking to get into this place. It was so I learned the business side of it. Then it was, you know, I got sick of that because I knew my pay ceiling was so low that I got into construction. I was always, my father was, worked for a marine hydraulic company. He was a very handy guy, brilliant dude. So I've been using tools since, you know, I crushed my hand when I was 12 years old on a boom truck. You know what I mean? Had it like shattered my fingers and had to get pins. And so I've been around tools in the industry, like construction. So it made sense for me to fall into. And then it was me working harder than everybody else, or understanding things better. That was like, oh, fuck that. I'm going to go work for myself. And I started being self-employed at 25 years old. And I always worked for myself ever since then. I ended up owning a pretty successful tile company where we did all custom flooring and custom tile. Like I tiled penthouses. I did, you know,
I've done a little flooring before.
Yeah,
but
I did. But I was doing
it's
like
definitely a brutal job.
Yeah, tile it was
hard on your knees. Well, what do they say about like the flooring guys? It's like you're on your knees twice as much as a hooker, and you don't even get paid half as much.
It's true.
Isn't that the old saying?
But I was doing custom work, so I was doing like celebrity houses, like penthouses for like.
NFL but I'm saying it's work that, like, if you do it for long enough, you might have to start getting like cortisone shots in your knee.
All right, so that's leading me to what happened next. So what I ended up happening is I was blowing out discs in my back and neck, and I moved the wrong way one day, and I was like, oh, that's no good. And I got from the base of my skull into my back, I have an incision where I was hung from an operating room, and they redid my whole neck. Wow. I spent almost 10 months in bed recovering from that. I still have major like nerve issue and stuff, but I'm up and mobile. I was at the point where I was in so much pain, like I was trying to figure out how to, like, if this was back in the day before medicine, I would have pulled the trigger. You know what I mean? It was that bad. Thank God for medicine, modern medicine.
Yeah.
Thank God for cannabis.
I was always an artist, so I was always dabbling in art and doing design work for like these website guys or people getting business cards or flyers done. When I had the neck thing, I was kind of like, even watching the way that the web thing was going, like people just cashing and taking advantage of people to get hosting money, and you know what I mean, just talking over them about HTML and PHP and just confusing people with that tech talk and just taking advantage of jargon.
I'm already lost.
And I was like, hey man, what about integrity? You know what I mean? So I was somebody from a construction side that was typing with one finger, that learned how to develop websites and was able to translate that technical talk into words that people could understand. You know what I mean? You know, search engine optimization. Oh, what's that? That means you're typing the keywords and you're being found. You know what I mean? On the internet. It's just how well your site performs. You know, and it was, so I ended up doing really well with that. And I got, you know, that's what I was doing. It allowed me to be home with my son and make a paycheck, but I wasn't crushing it. I was trying to make enough money to be home with my son. And because of the loss of my dad, to spend as much time with my son as possible.
Yeah.
But it was still like, this is not what I want to be doing, because you're talking to people about websites, and as much as I'm trying to translate it, they're just like, oh, well, my cousin does one in the basement. You just download this thing from GoDaddy. And it's like, yeah, you're not gonna.
You probably got some like Indian guy on Fiverr that'll do it for like $9.
Yeah, so it's a tough business to be in, you know what I mean? But it was good, you know what I mean? It challenged me, but it also taught me a lot. And like I said, then it was when I came up with this, and it was like, shit, you know, I know what I'm here for.
You kind of had that like aha moment.
Oh, it really was. It was, oh no, like my heart skip a beat, and I was like, oh no. And then we started searching, me and my friend, everywhere to anything like it, and it was like, wow, there's nothing. So I reached out to a couple of,
What made you think of it? Like spark it, like the idea? I know before you said you were like popping it for other people, and it was pretty much
that's why, because every year it would be like, all right, we got the flowers, we got the vegetables, we got the cannabis, all these fucking seeds. Like when it came to the beginning of the year, I'm like, oh, here we go again. Go get my box with all my little plastic containers and jars in it. Go figure out what I'm going to label them this year. Can I find the waterproof marker from last year? Can I? It was crazy. And it's like all these old things I'm using again, and like over and over, and then putting it up there, taking it down, spilling shit. Where'd that label go? Oh, at the end of the year, smelling 3 plants. Which one's which? And it was just like,
have you ever dropped a seed on the hardwood floor and then tried to find it?
Yeah, carpets and stuff. It's awful. Or in the basement where we do it, and then you get so much potting material on the cement floor. Yeah, and then you just lost a $10 seed. You're like, oh shit, man.
Gone.
Yeah, I think this looks like a seed, you know. And then it was like that. So then, like one year you're hitting like 90-something%. The next year you're like 60%, and then you're like, shit, man. Well, I did the same thing I did last year. Like, what's going on? All right, we live in an older house, so it's not a controlled environment, but it's like, you know, there's got to be an easier way. So I ended up seeing what I needed to do. I had so many seed varieties to germinate that year of 2022. And my brother-in-law's nephew passed away, and he was a grower. So he was like, hey, I got something for you. And it was like bottles and boxes full of seeds. I was like, oh, shit, man. And this frog tape container was near my computer, sitting there with a little bit of tape left in it. And I was like, wait. I bet you I could make a little pie shape thing for my son's 3D printer. So I got on Tinkercad, and there's Carla. She's helped fold some bundles and pack some stuff with me. That's my girlfriend's sister, and yeah, so they all know what's going on. So then once I got another guy, man, you're putting up some great people. These guys make the funniest videos for me, man.
I know, I love them.
Like when people talk about how cheap a plastic it was like, dude, it's food grade. So they made a video where they're eating popcorn out of it and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
So once I got the seeds organized, it was just like, how do I now handle the seeds instead of these stupid tweezers that I'm fumbling with every year and I'm jamming them in the dirt. So I went back.
Or you go to grab it with your fingers. Like, I don't know, like me personally, I've like germinated. Broke the fucking thing going to pick it up to where it was like.
Yeah, and I don't even want to touch them. I don't want to lose them. I don't want to break them. So I made the huggers. It prepares the hole. You handle them. And that's why in the newest how-to video that Asher and I put together, I don't even put on gloves because I don't need them because I never touch them. Yeah, and wait till you start handling seeds with them.
Yeah.
You know what? I really did notice, though, how they kind of got these like inner circles.
Yeah.
It like creates a little bit of a suction, but not like a breakable, you know, but it kind of like holds it in there, so you know.
And they're not so rigid.
Like too rough with stuff. I don't want to fucking like break it.
Well, the thing is you can put a seed in there and squeeze it as hard as you want, and the two arms are going to bury before you can even think about damaging that seed.
Oh,
you can crush that thing in there.
It's like, John, do you remember DVD cases?
Yeah.
You remember how there was the
ship them all out?
of the DVD case that had the 2 tabs on the side.
Yep.
Somehow, like I don't know what it is. I would always break it on it. At least one of those fucking tabs was getting like.
Well, that was me too. I was like,
I'm the worst with that type of shit.
Squeezing pliers and stuff. You know what I mean? And then
I do maintenance, so I'm turning fucking wrenches all day. I don't always realize how hard I'm grabbing stuff, you know.
But you can grab your seeds with those tweezers and bury them out, and it's not going to do anything to that seed.
I'm not going to test that.
When we do the,
I think it might give me a
when
little.
We do the trade shows, I see
better
people
advantage,
handle them, and their faces light up, and like, holy God, I know it was so easy to handle the seeds. Wow, and like, yeah, bury them things, and it does nothing to them. That's the goal. Safely handle seeds.
The system.
No touching them, no contamination, no damage. You know.
So let me ask you this: what's the feedback from autoflower growers, Ben?
They love them because they pop so much.
I'm kind of controversial myself because I do like the transplant, and I don't know. I have people that hate on me about it all the time and want to debate back and forth in like comment sections, whatever. But I guess I'm playing devil.
What's the concern of why are you looking at that as a transplanting? Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, I'm just playing devil's advocate for those people to where like you're supposed to start autoflower and final container. Like what's
okay? Okay. Yes, you are. You're not supposed to transplant it, but you're still taking the seed and planting it. You're not transplanting. Right. It's not established. Once your roots you have established root system on your plant, then you don't want to be transplanting that around. But this is just the starter.
A taproot.
Yeah, it's not considered a transplanting. You're planting it still. You just have a good start and you know it's germinated. And the other thing that's the benefit to this is like when you're like you were saying, different phenos and stuff. If you're hunting, you just open the lid and you find the one that's doing the best and plant that one. You know what I mean? You see the characteristics the second they pop. And you're also not staring at soil. Because the thing especially when you're direct sowing, you have a bunch of pots in a tent. What do? You have to go down there 3 days ahead of time, get the moisture content right, and then warm that tent for 3 days, right? Mm-hmm. If you germinate this in the can and you leave it in there for 2 days and you get a long established taproot, do these things look like they need to be required at a certain temperature of soil? No, they were sitting in the tote in like 60-something degree weather, like temperatures. Crazy. So once you get an established taproot, like damping off, I hear people like Matt from ICANN, the damping off. I never have dampening off problems because I'm planting an established taproot that doesn't require where I'm just spray watering it a couple times a day. It's already doing well. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you'll kind of get, if you go directly into soil, you'll kind of get that like wimpy germination to where the thing will get like 6 inches tall and just flop over.
And that's the thing too. So, and that's the other thing. Say you're planting a solar cups. This is something I do. And if you watch the new how-to video, I mentioned at the end. Don't fill your container full. Like if I'm using a solo cup, let's say, I'm only going to fill it half to 2/3 full. When I plant my seed, I make sure I can see the seed coat so I know where it is. And as it's growing, you just keep filling it with medium. There's no stretching. Right. And just like a tomato plant, as you're burying that stretched stem, it's rooting. So rather than concentrating
on top of your lights, though, you can also kind of eliminate a lot of that because a lot of times you get that stretch.
Well, if you're keeping it, but they're still going to stretch. But the thing is, too, with the benefit of burying that stem, is you're not concentrating your root ball to the bottom of that taproot. You're allowing that stem to start rooting. So you're spreading out your rooting system.
Oh yeah, you're building it.
So that's why I always start.
You're establishing it strong.
Establishing a broader root system rather than it all focusing to the bottom.
Yeah, that's good. It's smart.
Well, I listen. I've been growing for a long time. You know what I mean? And it's it's just they're very similar to the way that tomato plants grow. You know, when you get those big, long, stretchy tomato plants, what do you do?
Yeah.
You plant them on their side and just pick up the end, and then that whole stem roots. Same thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy.
Crazy.
I got a little 2x2x4 that my stuff goes to after germination, or like if anything comes out of like my clone dome, it goes in there. I got like 130-watt light in there, but I pretty much start running my stuff hard from like seedling, because by the time that it gets into my tent, I'm pulling 730 watts out of the wall. I pretty much always keep that light at 100% once it gets to like that step of the process. I got the setup for CO2 right now, but I still don't got the CO2 tank. But I can still get away with running my light at 100% just because I'm running the light so hard at every step of, you know what I mean?
See, I grew outdoors mostly, so I don't not an indoor grower.
Oh.
Okay. I live in a concrete jungle, so
yeah, no,
it's not an option for me.
We have a couple of acres, so so when I stop, I get my, like I said, I get my seedlings going. I like them, you know, over an inch long. I get them going halfway. I fill them as they go. I leave my cups on a heat pad for 2 to 3 days, and after that they move off to, you know, the other spot, get them going, and that's it. Then they go outside. See you later.
Then they go outside. Really? You started like young out there?
I get them going. Well, I'll get them going. I leave them down here for a few weeks and get them kind of going, and then they just go right outside. The earlier I can get them out there, the better, because then they'll handle.
That way you don't got to do like the whole acclimating of bring them outside.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and hardening them off. Yeah, you just get them out there. Yeah, that's my favorite.
Survival of the fittest.
That's it, man. But no, you know, this process, since I've been doing the CannaKan, I've germinated thousands of seeds, and I just have the best results, man. I'm up in the high 90s. You know what I mean? As long as I get good genetics, that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that is kind of the thing about good genetics too. Like I've definitely seen like a 10 seed pack for like $250. Like there's probably some that are even more expensive than that. You know what I mean? Especially when you get into kind of like the people that collect seeds, maybe people that have stuff that is a little bit older, like a couple years. I'm sure that the CannaKan would help with germinating some, you know, because we've done. Try to talk about, oh, you got to do. I would never mix hydrogen peroxide with something I'm trying to germinate. You know what I mean? That's just kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, I do it every time. I use 2% every time.
Yep. Do you?
Yep. And listen, it's just an extra you know what I mean? It's not like a big deal, but it helps either way and clean up the water a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some stuff I'm just kind of like weird about though. That's
I've noticed difference in it. I've tested thousands of seeds, and I notice a difference in it. I notice if you get closer to 5 to 10%, it doesn't work as well. Just a small amount does really well. And I'm actually trying something new out that I found. I'm going to try for all the seeds. It's USDA organic. I'm not going to say what it is yet because I haven't tried it, but it's basically sugars and stuff like that. And we're going to see how it works on older seeds. Dave, I've watched this stuff with powdery mildew, like crush it. I watched it kill a corn caterpillar in under 15 seconds. I watched it kill spider mites and thrips on contact, like immediately.
Yeah.
I just met this guy last week, and pretty impressive stuff. And I'm going to try it on some old seeds. I'm going to try it on decade-old bag seeds that were stored improperly. I'm going to try it on a couple year-old seeds and like some older stock, and see what happens. I'm pretty excited about it, though. It'd be really cool to see what happens.
That'd be really cool to test it out.
Yeah.
Do like a little, what do they call, like a control test or whatever?
Yeah. I love doing that. I do it all the time. Yeah. And that's why I use hydrogen peroxide, because I have noticed a small difference in it. Yeah. And but yeah, everybody has their own way. But this is, you know, the thing with this is it's consistent.
Do you think I could mix a little bit of recharge in there?
Why not? I've heard people try all different things. Yeah. I'm not going to say what they are because I don't want to have people use the other things, but I know people have tried all different things.
Get a little mycorrhizae in there. Get them inoculated.
Try whatever you want, you know. I personally, when I do my seeds, I'm straight out of tap. We have an old well here, an artesian well. I go right from the tap and I just germinate my seeds. But if I'm doing testing, like I just ran some for Kid Frost and stuff. I like the consistency. I go with 2% hydroperoxide. I put it in there, and I use
what type of ratio are you doing?
2%, under like between 1.5%, 2%. Even in my instructions, my instructions, it's going to tell you exactly the amount to use.
Oh, okay.
It tells you exactly how much to use in the instructions for your soak and for your germination. Listen, it's just another O. There's nothing dangerous about it. You know what I mean? There's nothing. If anything, it cleans it out a little bit. That's why I use the lab filter papers. You know, maybe there's small particulates in there. Why not get them out of there? Get it the best environment ever. I mean, that's the thing is all this is a small area that's textbook conditions. And I use a textbook process. That's it.
Yeah.
So you get textbook results. And like I say in the beginning of the video, and like we were just talking, my new how-to video is the seed. It's only as good as the seeds that you put into it. Right. So if you're putting fire genetics, like when I flew out to Astro, you know, I spent all that money for a hotel, for flights and everything else. And if Seedsman Seeds didn't pop at the end, it would have been all for nothing. You know what I mean? And luckily we opened it up and they all did phenomenal. I think there was I forget, it was close to 30 something seeds, and all of them germinated, and only 2 in the 6th slot just had smaller tap roots, but it was only at 42 hours total. So you know, another 6 hours. No, another 6 hours, they would have been better. But for me, the ones that were popping at the soak or within 22 hours, if I was planting those, we culled them all. But if I was planting those are the ones I would have planted. Because that characteristic, that eagerness,
they showed that early thrive.
It shows it, and it's all the way through.
They got the vigor right out of the gate.
Yeah, and I've done like the slowest one versus the fastest one, and you end up with a tree versus a little bush. You know what I mean? So it's true.
With these night owl genetics that I got from Daz, I know I'm gonna find some stuff in there. So I think these will be the perfect candidates for the CannaKan.
Yeah, awesome. I'm excited.
Daz has got some really strong genetics with night owl.
Yeah, great, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited for you to try it out. You know, I've had everybody that's used it other than one guy, and man, I can't stand this dude. But anyway,
well,
it's just because I don't know how deep I want to go into it, but I was asked to send this to somebody that has been against me from the beginning, and I don't know why. And when I watched them use it and being asked by seedsmen to use it, they were using it and trying to make it fail. And something else they did along with it, they were trying to make it look bad, and it ended up kind of flipping on its back. It's just I don't understand some people's intentions. Like, because you've been doing something for so many years, it doesn't. It's your audience isn't going to be like, oh my God, he's trying something new. He was wrong for the way he was doing it for. No, I think people will look up to you a little bit more if they're like, wow, he's open-minded and changing what he's doing. And instead, you know, you're trying to make something look bad that everybody else around you is saying this is amazing, but to you it's not. Like, what are you doing? What's your intentions? You know,
it just kind of shows that some people are just set to be miserable in life, you know.
Well, and it's like one of the things that I thought was pretty shitty, because I don't understand what the purpose was, is it was like, oh, it's not as fast as me direct sowing. Look at, what are you guys thinking? You put a poll up. First of all, I don't claim to be faster, even though it is. And secondly, it's about organization. It's about consistency. It's about reusability. And you put this poll up about being faster, it not growing faster. You have them in the can still, and you flooded out the can, and it's full of dirt. I don't understand what you did with it. But you're comparing the growth rate when you haven't even planted them. They're growing in the can. Put them in the dirt. Like, I don't understand it. Like, what is? I don't understand.
Weird.
No, I don't. I just don't understand people's intentions. Like, why do you want to bring somebody down, man? I would never stand in the way of somebody else.
Chaos agents, man.
Stand behind what you do, not in the way of other people. Embrace even the competition that is gone at me. All the success. I even told this guy, let's have a beer, knock it off. You know what I mean?
There's some people that just thrive off of
such
misery.
A big world. It's not one or the other. It can be both. It can be many.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for.
You could go ahead and not like me, but it doesn't mean you have to.
I'm not. Listen, and even if you're the competition, if you had a couple of beers and be like, fucking Don's great, man. What a fun guy. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't get it. And I'm not chasing Facebook likes. I'm shooting for the stars. All this other shit is static. I don't care. You know what I mean? It's crazy, but you know, I'll say this: I've sold thousands of them, and I haven't had one return.
I believe it.
No.
I'm really excited to use it because
someday,
the heat mat technology actually really intrigues me behind it.
I know.
It's amazing. I think Despicable Dab says he was using it to cure rosin or something. I don't do that much that stuff, but he said, "Wow, this thing's so accurate. I'm doing a warm curing on something, and it's incredible."
Yeah.
It's the best technology out there. It's the latest technology out there. There's only one other company.
I thought it was infrared.
I think AC Infinity is the only one using
what's the name of the heating technology that it uses?
It's called far. It is. It's far infrared technology. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And like I said, it's that heat film with a screen printed zinc paste on it. That's why, man, they're like so thin. Like you'll never be able to see it, but it's so thin, and like you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
What I did was I saw an opportunity to reinvest profit into making CannaKan the system I envisioned from the get-go. It was like, and I stopped sales to do this. I stopped sales. I was like, nope, I can make this better. And I stopped selling. What I did was I offered the kit without a heat pad.
I do remember that.
And this is when it was like, holy shit, this is what they make documentaries about. You're living a dream. And I'm like, pull the plug. I'm pulling it willingly because I want to make sure that when I can improve, I'm offering the product that I would want. So I stopped that momentum, and kudos to the community because 5 months off the market and then saying, hey, I got the new heat pad, and we launched it at 12 o'clock and 12, he's right. And at 12:01, I made my first sale, and I haven't missed a day of sales since we relaunched. And that's the community, man.
Yeah.
You know, and to go and say, like, for a small unknown product to not miss a day of sales is pretty incredible. And it's multiple sales. Like we did the numbers with Seedman. I'm like, oh shit, I'm doing almost 3 to 4 times more sales right now on the CannaKan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it's word of mouth. I've spent $37 in marketing. That's it. It's word of mouth. You know,
so
and that's why I say.
What should we look forward to come? Do you got any shows coming up? Anything like that?
So if you're going to MJ BizCon, if you're going to MJ Biz, I know that I'm not at a stand. I know that Seedsman is going to be, having something with CannaKan there, but you'll definitely see me around there. But we'll be going to MJ Biz. The next show that we have is going to be in Connecticut in February at Expo Can.
Yeah. Just signed.
And then we have Boston in March, but I'm hoping to go to Spanibus in March. And I believe if everything goes well,
I'm sure Seedsman will make that happen for you.
Yeah, and I believe that we're going to well, the thing with Seedsman is we've partnered, but Seedsman, Tom is actually going to help me bring CannaKan internationally, not just Seedsman.
Okay.
He's working with me to bring, because I want CannaKan going there. You know what I mean? And and then hopefully in April going to be a judge at the first German Autoflower Cup, which is going to be pretty bad.
That would be huge,
right?
Yeah.
So it's crazy. I went from this internet website guy to coming up with this idea, grind, lift my head up after the grind, like, oh shit, I think I'm ready. And it's like, man, I went to go see Astro. Now I'm going to MJ Biz. Then we're going to be doing the show. And then I'm going to Spain and then to Germany. It's like, I can't wait, man. This is
kicking ass and taking names.
It's mind blowing. And the thing is when I get to go around these places, I'm meeting all these people I've built relationships with. Like Cortez, I hope to meet you someday. Like this will be amazing. Alicia, I want to meet you.
I'm going to run into you one way or another, Dan.
Yeah. So
that's almost a definite.
So the thing with what Tom's going to do. So right now, I'm consumed by email support, posting on Instagram, making the packages, putting the iron-ons on the new bags, folding, printing, cutting. That's what I'm doing right now. So what Tom's going to help me do is put that somewhere else. Let a fulfillment center let me run my business. Let me go out and travel, talk about CannaKan, meet all these amazing people. And that's what I'm hoping 2025 is going to be for CannaKan. It's going to be
so bogged down by the day-to-day operations.
Yeah, because I do. Like, I don't know when I'm going to sleep. I sleep when I pass out. And then as soon as I get up, I'm back to work. I don't stop. I don't. It's hard to understand what it's like unless you're here. I don't stop, and I haven't stopped.
You believe in your passion about.
Yeah, and I see it.
I mean, you want to do it though. It's
yeah. I don't. It's for the first time in my life that I've never worked this hard, but it doesn't feel like work. It's like every second of it, I'm just like, it's not like, oh shit, I got to do this. Like, oh my God, I could go do this right now. I can go get this done. Hey, yeah, no, you guys go without me. I'm just, and people are like, you got to take a break. And it's like, nah, I don't want to, because this is what I want to be doing. I don't want to, because if I go over to Auntie whoever's and hang out and watch the kids jump the pool, I'll be like, I fucking don't want to be here. I want to be home. I want to be getting shit done. Yeah, because I'm like this on my phone. I'm like, man, there's so much I want to be doing right now. You know what I mean? I just, every opportunity, I want to chase it.
Well, we are coming up on 90 minutes here, though, Don. Was there any shout outs that you wanted to give?
You know, if I did shout outs, I would be screwing it up because I would miss so many. But I think that if you communicate with me on a regular, then you know, let me look in the chat real quick, see who's in there. So I'll give some shout outs. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good people. Yeah, you get Astro and Trains. Yeah. So everybody, you know what I mean? I just
big shout out.
It is because it's always the same people, and it's always the same people that have you back, that brought you to where we are. And it's like, so everybody that's out there, I love you all. Hate me or love me, I love you. So I just want to keep growing, and that's it, man. I thank you to everybody, and especially to Astro for helping me get my how-to video that I've been trying to get done for all this time. He absolutely crushed it, and it's so easy now because people are like, hey, I'm having a problem with. I'm like, here, check out this link. Boom, see you later.
Just send it to him.
Yeah, so big shout out to Astro. If I was going to give one, I'm looking forward to MJ Biz. I'm going to be meeting up with. I know we're going to be hooking up with Sebastian, doing some cool shit. I've never met him. Can't wait to meet him because I was watching him in the day when he was sitting on his couch and the cat behind him growing on the side. So, to go, that's one of the most exciting things is all these people that I was watching and looking up to. I'm going to be meeting them in 3 weeks. So, like, this is crazy.
Oh,
so,
yeah. That's awesome.
I plan on going and doing some lives while I'm out there. So pay attention to that. So, and thank you guys.
We're going to have to get you back on again, Don.
Yeah,
to do a part 2 after you get done with the MJ.
I know. Hear about the adventures.
Awesome.
Definitely have to get a part 2 from you.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys. I was excited to come on. Alicia, I love you. And Cortez, great to do this with you. And I look forward to our paths crossing in the future.
Yes.
Hell yeah, man. So. Thanks for your time, Dan.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Wow, he was such a great guest to have on.
I know. There's so much, There's so much. It's like, wait, I didn't even think about that. It's so ingenious.
Right, but I don't know. He's kind of got like the whole story to tell, though. You know what I mean? Of how started off working like construction and moved his way to sales. Just his whole story is kind of like inspiring, and it kind of takes away from like the stoner stereotype saying that everybody is like lazy or like unmotivated. You know what I mean?
No, exactly.
Which is really cool. So next week we have Astro on. We got to figure out this Thanksgiving giveaway, Alicia, because we will be giving away the 24-ounce Grow Dots with the 8-ounce recharge. So it's full plant nutrition for 9 plants to go from seed to harvest or clone to harvest.
Yes.
But we'll figure out more of the details about that. We'll be posting that soon, but we will be doing a giveaway for Thanksgiving, and next week we got Astro coming on.
Yes.
Did you have anything you wanted to shout out before we end, Alicia?
No. Thank you, CannaKan, so much. I had a wonderful time. So thank you, Cortez. Thank you, everybody who's here. Make it possible.
Most definitely. All right, everybody. Until next week.